And now, the big shot. Brought to you by Nikon, at the heart of the image.
Previously on The Big Shot, our 8 photographers were whisked off to Indonesia, where they had to make these lifelike puppets look even more alive. Attilio was the first casualty because the judges felt that his picture was the weakest and that knapsack was a big oversight. 7 photographers remain. Who will be eliminated next?
I'm here at Malioboro Street, perhaps the busiest street here in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. This is where old meets new. There's a certain hustle and bustle about this place. As you can see, there are lots of motorbikes, lots of people, cars, and even horse carts as well. Now, in this location, what will our photographers deem as interesting to our judges? Well, this is a challenge they will face in today's episode of The Big Shot. Hello photographers, welcome to Malioboro Street, the location for your challenge for this episode. I've got it right here. Good luck.
The theme for this week's challenge is photojournalism. Our photographers have been challenged to take a photograph that best depicts the caption, "I am unseen." They have been given 30 minutes to complete this challenge.
Start from this location and you've got to come back within the 30 minutes. If you fail to do so, we'll take away a third of your time for the next challenge. And your time starts now.
When I first received the challenge, I think this is not something that I'm very strong with because I don't do photojournalists. So I was not very panicked, but I just need to find an object to shoot. So I went into the houses inside and I actually asked the permission from the locals that whether I can take their photo.
Nama?
Huh? Moven. Boleh ambil gambar ya? Boleh ya? Boleh ya? Boleh ambil gambar dia tak? Boleh ya? Mari. Tangan macam mana ni? Tangan sini. Once down, so I managed to take a few children. Yeah, I managed to get a shot during the first set of the children. Oh! I know there's a pipe, but I don't know that actually it will leak. Okay, and it just burst when I finished my last shot. Dah boleh ambil gambar satu? Just still have time, and probably I can manage to get something else. So I just walk around and see what I can take. So why not just explore a little bit? I think that today's challenge is fun because I managed to explore a little bit on the local side. And the people here are really friendly. So yeah, something that is very different that, you know, when I ask them, can I take their picture? And they really like, okay, no problem.
How I interpret it would be people who are less noticed, who waits for someone to donate the money, or the kids who are less privileged. So I focus on that. One of it still vividly in my head is the one that I capture a lady selling vegetables with some soup or gravy to an elderly woman sitting right in front of her eating the same dish, and I put them together in a picture to show how difficult it is to make a living. So probably I might use that picture as a lady who is unseen and everybody is just passing her by.
I saw this demonstration walking past, and that was like 5 minutes ago. So I was thinking in my head, this fitted the team. So I just ran all the way until I saw the banner people again, and I found them. So I got the shot. I got a competition. I want to take a photo of you, and this is for... yeah. 1, 2, 3, yeah! 1, 2, 3. Hi, can I use you in a photo? Could you join them over there? Come. Hey, sorry. Look here. 1, 2, 3, yeah! Where's the place, huh?
As the clock runs down, 3, 2, 1. The parade's certainly not in celebration for the contestants that are late, which is a very sweaty Vignesh. Just missed it. A third of your time for the next challenge will be taken off. You think that's going to affect you?
Obviously, I don't have to see the challenge, but obviously it's going to affect my thinking time and the chance of getting that perfect shot.
Apparently that I have a short of time and I couldn't wait for anything to happen right before me. So I wanted to go into some back street, get some locals to help me create the story that I wanted. I found a very vibrant place, a wall splashed in red, street hawkers at the back street, which is not a lot of human traffic. And I got these two men pretending that one is eating and the other one is also eating beside him, but decided to turn around and pickpocket him while he's having his meal. Instead of waiting for a story to happen before me, yeah, I just created a story.
At first, when I knew about the parade going on, I was a little bit distracted. Should I take this one-time opportunity where the parade is through? But after thinking through the caption, I totally ignored this parade because obviously it is something very prominent. So I went straight to some small alleys. I was thinking I should be taking everyday life or common things that happens every day. I stopped at some satay store. I took some snaps of these people working. So I was looking at the, is it called the pachak? This trishaw? The becha, yeah. The becha driver, because I think becha is something traditional and very iconic in this place. Rather than taking the picture itself, one of my shots, I was focused on taking the becha driver.
Okay.
This is day 2 or second challenge. I think I'm enjoying every moment of it. This street is fantastic. When I travel, I like to go along streets like this rather than go inside the shopping mall. It's wonderful.
There was like these guys that were in costumes with coffee covered, but then you can see their feet. So in the theme of I am unseen. So, you know, it is a person there, but they are trying to not be seen. See whether there's anything in the back alleys. No, it's not going to help. All right, getting back out to the main street. In photojournalism, you know, if you have what the caption says or if you have the story, you know, if you can do it within that few seconds or that few minutes, if you have it, you have it.
If you can describe today's challenge for you in one word, what would it be?
Comfort zone.
That's 2 words.
Can't do it.
I've always liked street photography, so I was actually quite excited about it. But the problem is it's because the flexibility is so great, it actually becomes difficult in the end because there's just so many things you can take here. Because I'm not familiar with the streets here, so that in itself was already a challenge.
What are you trying to do here?
I'm taking a slow shutter shot of myself.
So you're setting up the timer as well?
Yeah.
And then you're going to go across the streets?
No, it's shooting me now.
So what's the idea behind taking a picture of yourself? So you're the unseen? Or?
Yeah, like the traffic is very busy. There's a lot of traffic, it's bustling and everything. So they don't see me, they just drive past me. So I'm unseen. I started out with one idea. It didn't work. So I'd rather just go and get some safety shots just in case because like the idea doesn't work. I imposed a time challenge on myself eventually and my stopwatch stopped at exactly 15 minutes. So I was running like there, then I was like, how come I still have 15 minutes? That's not possible, right? I was like, okay, you know what, I wasn't aware of the time there at all. So I just snapped whatever I could, looked around, find something, and then just go back, and then you're like, 8 minutes left. Okay, then for another idea.
Just some time. Hi guys, so let's talk about photojournalism, which is probably one of the most underestimated genres of photography. There are a lot of silent happenings in the world that most of us will never know about until they are brought to light through words or images. And that is the true essence of photojournalism. Since most news is about people and the emotions and effort they put into doing the things they do, you need to take a closer look at the world around you. Start by going for a walk around your neighborhood. Talk to people, get into their lives, and let them learn to trust you enough to let you take photos of them. Of course, you have to invest in a good camera and lenses as well, such as this 17 to 55mm f2.8 lens, which is great for portrait work. So good luck.
This could have been such an amazing image.
To me, I keep looking at the head and going, where is the rest of the body?
No, I agree with them. I'm just angry myself that I didn't see it before.
I'm really sorry, yeah, the photo is really weak. I will produce better work next time if you give me a chance.
The title of this photo is Camouflage Homes. During this challenge, we were brought up to Malioboro Street and I walked towards an alley. And when I go deep to the alley, I realized that actually there are residents inside. A lot of people, very lively. It's totally different scene from the main street. I was very touched by the scene and actually I asked the children to pose for me. And this is the unseen scenery that you won't see on the street.
Nice work. I think you made the right decision in choosing to go off from the main street. Lovely warm colours, cute expression, which goes well with the theme. Nice details. I like the paper airplane. Yeah, really nice work. Well
Thank you very much.
I like that you have depth in this picture. For me, I looked at the background first and I think to myself, okay, what's unseen over there in the back? So I think it really does work for me as well.
Thank you very much.
Love the fact that you targeted the kids because kids are usually unseen and having them in their natural environment, it was really beautiful. Love the connection with the boy and his eyes with the viewer, very strong connection. So overall, I think it works. Great job.
Thank you very much.
Caption says, I am unseen. I decided to look for moments where we don't usually see. I've seen a lot of beggars, but this one really captured my attention because there's this grandma who just bought like a makeshift seller who actually sells her cuisines by baskets. And I kept the whole background to show that people are actually doing this on street. And the old grandmother is just sitting in front of a store. You can see where the packet of clothing is there, which you won't see in country like Singapore.
When I look at a picture, I sometimes see a lot of white noise. You know, there's good white noise and there's white noise like this in a photojournalistic context. However, this white noise is not good white noise for me, unfortunately, because I don't know where to focus. Is it a trishaw? It's like, you know, unseen, someone there, not there. Is it the old lady on the left who is a beggar or a hawker? I can't be sure. Or is it the lady on the right in the orange t-shirt? I'm sorry, but it doesn't work for me.
Same thing, I'm very confused on what the subject is. Even right behind the old lady's head, there's a guy in the green shirt that's sticking out and there's like a purple thing that's sticking out. It's very distracting. So look for different angles. You might find the same setup, but a different angle might be totally different.
Okay, thank you.
I like the eye contact with the old lady. I like that you went down to the same level to photograph. And there are a lot of nice little details, a lot going on here. But at the same time, that's its drawback because there are so many colours vying for attention and there's you know, sort of different degrees of light, which again has left sort of parts of the image overexposed, but not bad.
Thank you.
You look very disappointed. I mean, when you were going in, you were quite optimistic. Would you agree what they have to say? What would you agree with them? It's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
No, I agree with them.
What's making you so upset?
No, when they mention it, I see it, but I was just angry myself that I didn't see it before and I couldn't fix it.
When I got the challenge, straight away came to my mind, newspaper, I need to break a story. The first thing that I was thinking of was to go through the alleys. I think a lot of people will instinctively go into the alleys and take some beggar or something like that. So I wanted to be different. I saw this group of protesters. They're outside the presidential palace of Yogyakarta. And it's really interesting because I know you all can't read the banners, but it's not a direct translation, but what it means is white people and Malay people should live together in unity. I felt that it was unseen because in the mainstream media, you always hear negative things about these people, but here is a social movement started by Muslims for diversity. And I think Muslims fighting for diversity and integration is something that is not seen in the mainstream media, and that is why I wanted to break this story.
Big Dish, you confuse me. Last week's picture was awesome. I know what you're capable of, and then all of a sudden you come up with something like this. As a viewer, I have no idea what is going on in this image. You also have to understand that, let's say, if this image is syndicated worldwide and someone isn't able to read the language, can they still get the story out of this? Exactly, how would you make us feel as well?
If I were to run this in a magazine, and I had no choice, I had to run it, in the DPS, the double page spread, your flag will be missing because it'll be right in the middle of the gutter. So on that front, this picture has already kind of failed for me. I can read Malay of Bahasa, but I didn't even bother to read the signs. As a memento of stumbling upon a protest that's very unusual is adequate, but for use in print, I'm sorry, I don't think so.
This is a real fall from grace from last week. The composition is kind of messy, the colours are kind of garish, and I suppose the film flash is reflected from the signs, the sky is blown out. You're right, as a photojournalist, you don't get the opportunity to, set up your moment, but you have to be prepared to admit when it's not going to work and find a new angle or something else. I'm afraid this doesn't really work at all.
Okay. I'm really sorry, the photo is really weak. I will produce better work next time if you give me a chance.
So did you think you were in trouble when you had to explain so much?
Yeah, if you could read the banners, you would know roughly what the protest was about. But I knew that they could not read the banners, so somebody...
But Sharon could. Sharon understands. She can read it.
Yeah, so she said that because of the whole conversation, she didn't really read it. Yeah, so on that note, I also learned, but I knew that I had to explain it anyway because there's no point taking a photo. You can't go globally because nobody can understand. It wouldn't catch a global audience because of the language barrier alone.
I was rolling down the streets and I noticed this traditional Aisha. To me, these are the people that are unseen in everyday life because people will usually pay attention to the colorful bichak, but probably none of us will pay extra attention to the rider or the owner himself.
There are a lot of things I like about this image. The colours, a lot of nice details, the number plate, the shadow. What is most striking about it that doesn't work is just the positioning of the head, and the bottom of the face has been obscured by the seat. The elements just don't really gel, even though I see what you were going for, and some of it's quite nice. Potential, but could be improved.
From a purely commercial point of view, I don't get it. To me, I keep looking at the head and going, where is the rest of the body? So on that note, I'm really sorry. I just wish you had done a better picture because everything else about this is almost a sweet spot.
So close. This could have been such an amazing image. Just moving it slightly to the right where you start seeing the guy, or maybe even getting him to put his arm across, this would have made a great portrait. The entire vehicle frames his face. Explore those angles a little bit more, and I think you got it.
Thank you.
All right.
This image was taken during a parade down Yogyakarta, and I just felt that the challenge should actually portray something where someone is trying to hide from something. It could be his personality or it could be himself, but yet the environment allows this person to be seen as well.
It's a very busy picture, even though there are two people in front and there's a whole bunch of people in the back, and you've taken care to separate the background from the foreground. Without a caption, I won't know what you're talking about, and the point of this contest is to speak louder than words. I don't quite get it.
All right.
Yeah.
I like the colors in this shot. That's the only thing it has for it. After hearing your concept, I love the concept, but the execution just kind of falls short.
All right.
Have no idea, where my eye should land.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
The composition as a whole doesn't sit well with me. You've gone for sort of jaunty angle, but I don't really know why. The figure in the background with a sort of ape mask on, either less or more of that. But as it is, just kind of cut off. I mean, there's nothing particularly wrong with this, I suppose, but for me, there's just nothing particularly right with it either.
Thank you.
The title of my photo is Behind His Back. So going along the lines of I am unseen, photojournalism is about capturing shots that are not pre-planned or pre-arranged. In fact, he didn't even know that I took his photo. And I wanted to show the vibrancy and the colours of Malioboro Street, and people actually walk past the riders without noticing them.
Really great composition. The fact that you have a foreground, subject, and background, I love the depth in it. Only thing I would have changed is maybe if he had moved slightly to the left, losing a little bit of his ear just to complete his face. I think that's pretty much about it, but everything, I like it.
You've captured his expression, not just his expression, but also his wrinkles, the lines on his neck, even the clothes, they're a little bit rumpled. I mean, it tells a story of a man who is taking a break from what is possibly going to be a really long day at work. And again, what Kevin says about the depth of the picture, I mean, that was what captured my attention from everyone here. It's so simple and yet so complex. Love it.
Thank you.
A really nice twist on the theme, I am unseen, in that you're the one that's unseen rather than a subject in the photograph. I like it a lot. Well done.
Thank you.
I took this shot in the busy streets of Malioboro, and in such a busy street, a lot can be seen. However, in one of the back alleys, I wanted to portray acts of human behavior that usually goes unseen. Thefts or pickpockets happens everywhere in the world, but usually goes undetected until it's too late. I wanted to show reality of the unseen.
Can you tell us, was this a setup then?
Yes.
Before I knew that, I would have been able to say that the man whose face we can see that he knows he's being photographed. So I think if you're going to do a setup, you have to make sure they're good actors. And in this case, I don't think it's really worked out. You've taken a risk, which is to be admired, but I really don't think it's paid off in this case.
I'm wondering if it was a pickpocket or a pickup, actually, looking at this. It failed for me because the body language says everything when you're photographing people. It just felt so wrong that I actually quite violently disliked it.
The brief of this was a photojournalistic shot, and I think having set it up this much, that poses, number one, a very ethical question being a photojournalist. I don't see the usage of either sepia or black and white for this. There wasn't a reason for it. I think it was just to make up for the lack of things going on. Other than that, they weren't really good actors, so it didn't really pull through for me as well. So nothing in this shot really worked. It was just a very straightforward, rather bland, unfortunately. And composition-wise, it wasn't even daring. It was just a very straight shot. So it doesn't really work for me.
Thanks.
Photographers, what an interesting second challenge on a very busy Malioboro street. Once again, when I call out your name, please take a step forward. Cheryl? Morven? Both are in the top two. Thank you.
Loved the two shots that the two of you submitted. Morven, I like that you're enterprising. You went behind the scenes, you are very resourceful, and you obviously have a way with people, ladies with little kids, to get them to pose for you because they are hard to, there's a language barrier and all of that, right? So I appreciate the efforts. Cheryl, that shot was a money shot for me. I would run this picture, if I could, in the appropriate media. I am very pleased to say that, Cheryl, you are the pick of the week.
Jana? Fauzi?
Jana, this shot was a really good effort. I know you were really bummed out with all the comments earlier on, but don't be discouraged. Keep shooting and just keep exploring. Don't stop.
Fauzi, one of the biggest issues with your shot was the ethical question of setting it up, and I mean that's not photojournalism. To reenact something that you saw, is murky, but it's a little more acceptable. Unfortunately, the setup didn't pay off in terms of aesthetics either. I'm afraid it didn't really work for us.
Vignesh? What a great start, the first episode. You got pick of the week. Now coming into the second week, you're standing right in front of all the judges, and I have to tell you, you are eliminated from the competition. When I called out your name, what were you thinking then?
Yes, definitely important to eliminate that kind of thing. I knew this week was a good chance I was going to get eliminated because of some reasons, but even after the judging, I learned even more reasons why I should be eliminated. So, there are some things I'm not aware of, and I learned more about photojournalism today. I guess, yes, it's fair that I got eliminated. It's just such a waste because, I felt that if I survived this round, I would have done great in the later rounds. I have much more to show.
All the best.
Thank you.
Never miss another episode. Catch up on Sin MSN Now.
Hope you have enjoyed The Big Shot. Brought to you by Nikon, at the heart of the image.